Okay, once we put all our uprights on, or our poles, then we put glue around here. For this I will use Fabri-Tac. It dries quicker. Normally I peg them, I use tacky glue, and I peg them together and I let it sit overnight, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. I'll just do this. So you get right in between our ends here, on the ends, all over, and in the middle. There we go. And then we stick on this bit and we sandwich our bottom and our poles between this. So what I will do is I will get some pegs actually. I raided the clothesline. Alright, so we stick, hang on, I'll try and move that while it's still wet, and we put our pegs on and we hold this together in between our poles. Couple more. Alrighty. So we let that sit. Like I said, I normally let that sit overnight. I normally put something in the middle there. Push that down, but because this is Fabri-Tac, it will dry fairly fast. So while that is drying a little bit, I'll grab this one that has been sitting there, and I use a little bit of washi tape to hold on my poles together. This is a taller one. My poles are a little bit bigger, as you can tell, than that one would have been. Same concept. I think there's 11 on here instead of 13. All right. So there is that one done. Yeah, I think there's 11 on here. We'll use this one as our marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so there's 11. Just as long as you have an odd number for a single strand weave, we'll be fine. Now let me grab one of my what's the names here. Right, so the big end out. Where's my scissors? What did I do with my scissors? Alright, so I'll just chop that a little bit just to neaten that end up. And I'll squash that together because we need to stick this on the inside of our pole. got a bit of glue up inside that. Let's see if I can, there we go, close that up. Alright, so I'll stick that on there like so, just for a couple of seconds, and let that dry, and then we will start. So because that's on the inside, this needs to go on the outside of that. Like I said, there's many fabulous weavers out there. Just type in basket weaving out of newspaper or something, and yeah, you'll come across some very talented ladies. I'll leave a link in the description for a couple of them. I can't pronounce their names offhand. I think they're Croatian or somewhere. Alright. So what we do now is we just go round the bottom of our, this is the hardest part, trying to get the bottom row done. Once we get the bottom row done, we're fine. Okay, so we got in, out. Like I said, this is the hardest part. Awkward. It's very awkward. This is when we need to have 4 sets of hands. Okay, let me just attach that peg to that bottom bit there so it doesn't come undone. So the glue's still a little bit well, it's made the paper soft, put it that way. Okay, so we need to go around. Let me see if I've got this right. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over. Now we need to attach a new pole. So I get a little bit of glue. Tacky glue is fine for this, and I normally put a dab. Oh, that's right, I've got to wait for this to go down, don't I? Alright, here we go. Put a little bit in the larger ends. And I get my small ends and I slip that in there and just push it in, and just wait for that glue to dry a little bit, and then that extends our weaving tube. Like I said, this is the hardest part, this bit, trying to get everything, this bottom section is the hardest. Okay. Over, under. Oh. Over and under. Now if we were to do an even number of uprights, we wouldn't be able to go around the one that we've just put under, if that makes sense, because we would have had another around and then an under. So for this technique you need an odd number of upright poles. So next round, because we've gone around the outside, we've got to go on the inside of that one. Okay, let me just grab a peg. I need to hold that together there. Now for the next insert, we've lengthened our tube, and there goes my power. At 5:30-ish every afternoon, the power goes off in here for some reason. And my fans go off and my lights go out, and it's makes it hard to see. Why aren't you going in? Maybe if I'm putting the wrong end in. It's alright, it's gripped. That's good. Alright. So what I'm going to have to do is get an extension cord. And so now we go around the one that we've just done in. See how we've got this one around? We'll just bend that a little bit there. And that has got to go on the inside of that one. So this one's on the inside, which means that it's got to go on the outside, and we just keep doing that all the way around. And once we've done a couple of rows, then we can come back and tighten up this bottom bit. So I find it easier to bend this up so it sits behind that pole really nice. Sorry about the camera angle, guys. So again, we go around, and this one's got to go under. So let me just put my pegs here out of the road, and I will grab another tube. And we insert the little end into the wider end, like so. Is it going to go in? What have I done? See, I'm blind. Where's... I need my pokey tool. I've done something there. What have I done? Alright, I've got it. I've got it. I might have to just put that in, a squeeze that down the center and just make it a little bit smaller. Alright. Gee, it's hot under here without those fans on. You'll probably be able to hear me a lot better. But it's just very hot. Alright, so we move that inside that big one, and we're ready to start. And that's come undone. This was one of the ones I did with the glue stick. It's coming undone. Oh, that's not the one, that's the one. Alright, so we go around, behind, around, behind, and we just keep working our way up our poles. Bend that in. Like I said, the first couple of rows are the hardest to manage. Okay, so we'll get ready now to I'll just put that there. Try and keep the shape of this just for a second. I'm going to put that there. Alright, I know I'm making it look difficult, but it is pretty tricky, guys, to get it sorted. This last layer here, let me see if that's going to go in without any dramas. Yeah, that one's right. Alright, just put a bit of glue in the end there. And put that in and wait for that to dry a little bit. turn that around. In. Alright, so now that we've got that, let me grab my little container here and we'll put this in the middle. And we can use this to work our way up the container. Actually, I might put that way because that is the base. And this one will go up inside a little bit. That's not going to fit in. I've done that too tight, see? It's this one here. That's the one. Look at that. There we go. So we don't want to do this too tight around here, otherwise we're not going to get this out. But it just helps keep the poles upright a little bit. No, wants to make a liar out of me. Now I can't get it out. That's all right. We'll wing it, guys. We'll wing it. So that goes behind. That goes around behind. And we keep doing that until we reach our desired length. But yeah, you might need some pegs to help hold your layers until you get going. So I shall go up and get some dinner ready for these family up there. It's 5:30 in the afternoon here, so I'll go and get them some food and then I will come back and continue on with this. Alright, I need another one. Okay. Okay guys, I've really got to go up and get these meals cooked for these people upstairs, so I shall do that and I will come back and we will continue with this. Okay, I tried to make a video early this morning. I got this far in my basket before I realised that the camera wasn't working properly, so let's hope it works this time. So anyway, dinner was cooked. After dinner I went to bed and had a snooze, and it's now 2 days later. We went to Ballina yesterday to see my grandma, which is in New South Wales, and had a lovely day. So I woke up really early this morning and made a video. It was still dark when I was down here this morning, but yeah, it didn't work. So now I'm back to give it another go. So what I've done is I have put this container in here this way up because I want to try and replicate the shape of this container, and it helps keep your weave a little bit snug as well. So I've got this far, and as you're aware, you just let me try and straighten this up. So you can straighten your poles up as you go. I'll just keep an eye on this video to make sure it doesn't play up. So I've had to do this in 2 parts, guys, otherwise it's going to be like hours long. So the first part is already up on the YouTube. So yeah, we just continue weaving, straightening up your poles as we go. So when you've done under, the next row you do around. So like I said, this is a basic 1 strand weave. It does the job. If you want thicker tubes, all you have to do, instead of folding your magazine pages in quarters or thirds, you just fold it in half and you get a thicker tube, if that's the chunky look you're after. It doesn't have to be this size. It's just a lot easier to work with. This basket here was just half a page because they're very thick strands. So I'll just do one more round with you and have a bit of a chat. Yeah, on the way back from Ballina yesterday, it's normally a 2 to 2.5 hour drive, but there was an accident at Helensvale, which is at the Gold Coast. Some fuel tanker rolled over. Luckily nobody was hurt. All cars were squashed underneath it. Very lucky. But yeah, a fuel tanker rolled over and they had the highway closed both sides in case, you know, it blew up or something. So instead of a 2-hour drive home, or 2.5 hours, it took 4. So 4 hours. We got stuck in a storm. It stormed because the traffic was really slow and stopped in various places. So yeah, lightning and lots of rain, and yeah, it was interesting to say the least. But we finally made it home. But like I said, yeah, the truck driver's fine. There was probably 1 or 2 cars involved. They're lucky they didn't get squashed, honestly. So yes, so they had to wait for somebody to come and drain the fuel out of this tanker so they could move it. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, because we left Ballina 4:30 Queensland time, because New South Wales is on daylight savings at the moment. So we left 4:30 Queensland time and we didn't get home until 8:40 we got home last night. Yeah. But anyway, but it was a lovely visit with my grandma. I got some more fabric from her. She's having a clean out. So I got some fabric and I got some more magazines, which I don't really need, but they'll get used, and newspapers, because I have plans for my newspapers. I'm going to make some newspaper baskets. So yes. But the little bit of rain we've had, it's everything's like humid and steamy, but oh, we needed the rain so badly. It's freshened everything up a little bit. The birds loved it early this morning. Oh, they were just going crazy out there, singing along in the rain. Yeah, it was lovely actually early this morning. And yeah, but my video didn't want to play. Just did not want to play. Well, that's looking nice. Let me just take that out and have a look. There we go. Look at that. I'll give that a squish down. Straighten our poles up. And put that back in. So I will do this probably up to the top of here. A little bit higher than this. And then I will finish it off at the top. But no, they're really fun to do. Easy, quite easy. So I hope you grab some of your magazines or junk mail and give it a go, because it is fun to do. And like I said, there are some lovely, lovely, talented ladies on YouTube who make the most beautiful woven baskets and different things. So yeah, like just type in basket weaving using newspapers or something like that and you'll come across a few. So we just keep weaving. That's all we do. And the reason I keep adding little bits of tube instead of making one big long one, it's just easier to work with. So you just have to experiment and see what suits your style. I know my back's sore from sitting all that time in the car though. Oh, it's really sore today. So fingers crossed we get a little bit more rain, because we desperately need more. And we push down and move our poles across, straighten those up as we go. Grab another one. So after I've made a couple of baskets, I'll try and do some more work, embellishments and things for my envelope junk journal, because I really would like to get that finished and out of the road and sent off to some lovely subscriber. But like I said, I can't concentrate on one thing, unfortunately. My brain won't allow me to do that. So just make sure it's straight. And have I lost it again? Have I lost the camera? Oh, fingers crossed this works, guys. Otherwise I'll have to start another basket and redo the whole thing all over again. But no, I could quite easily make these all day, for a little while anyway, until my brain decides it wants to do something else. I enjoy this very much. And what a good way to use up all your magazines and junk mail. And it's functional. So once I finish this one, I'm going to actually cover this, paint it, give it a quick coat of gesso. I suppose you could spray paint them. I do have spray paint somewhere. I think they're Not sure where they are, but I know I do have some. Yeah, could always spray paint them, but I'm going to give this a coat of gesso and give it a paint. I might make it for I don't know, I don't want to say in case they watch my video. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But I definitely will paint it and decorate this one. Normally I just leave them, you know, looking like magazines, but this one I will paint. So once you get started, it doesn't really take that long. It's just time, I guess. Okay. Put that in. Alright, so we're nearly near the top. This would be a great project for an art class at school. I think the kids would love it, actually. Alright, another one in. I don't really care about them, you know, the colours matching. Like I said, I like the mottled look, but this one will be painted, so you're not going to notice. But yes, trying to get some washing done today. Hubby's off again. He's off to Victoria for a couple of weeks to do some work. So he needs clothes, so I'm in the middle of doing some washing. We're nearly at the top, guys. Okay. So I'll keep going until I reach the top. I will then come back and we will attempt to weave off. I find this the most hardest to weave the top to get it looking nice. Yeah. So anyway, I will continue to do this, guys, so you don't get too bored. And once I've reached the top, we will finish off. Okay, now I've finished the length that I want for my basket. It's a little bit taller than our yogurt tub here. So we've got this length of uprights to work with. So what we do is, where I've finished off here, this is my last row, I've tried to finish off where I first started, so it makes it even. So I will use this one here that I've started on to start my finishing off process. So we grab this and we move it behind, kind of bend it with your thumb a little bit like that, and we move it behind and around. Now this is the basic way to finish this kind of basket off. There are other finishing techniques, but this one works well with this sort of basket. So we do the same with this one. We bend, we go around and around that one. So you can chop off these ones as you go that are in here, but I like to finish the top first and then I can tidy up in here. So we bend behind and around that one. So bend behind and around that one. And we keep doing that until we get to the last, or we get to the end. Straighten up these a little bit and give them a bit of a tug. So just push that in there for now. So behind, around, I'll tuck that in. So this is how our top is looking. Behind and tuck that in that one. Alright, so from here what we do is we bend, we still bring this behind, but we've got to tuck it into here, this one here that we started. So what I will do is just leave that there because I can weave that in. Right, so the same here, we go down, we bring it behind this one and we bring it through, and then we push it back through this one here. So that gives you a nice woven top. So now what I like to do, this is why I leave my long ends on, because I can grab my poles and just give them a little bit of a tighten to make sure that it's nice and secure. So I'll just quickly go around and give that a bit of a tighten. Alright, so now we've done that. Now what I like to do is go back through and chop off our ends. And I chop them up that way. I'll just make sure I don't chop my fingers off. And then I get a little bit of glue and I try and line it up with one that's going around. So fabric glue works well with this because it dries fast and securely. So I'll just put a little dab there and push that onto that strand, and we'll let that dry. Same with this one. Give it a cut. It's on the angle. Ooh, I need some tough cuts or something. Alright. And once again we find one that runs around, Put a bit of glue on there. Come on, there we go. And push our end onto that, and we just hold that there for a second until it dries. Let me just grab a peg, because I'm not going to sit here holding that for too long, because otherwise you will get all bored. So put a peg there in a minute. Alright, so I'll cut this one, and so the next one I'll give it a quick trim. Oh, gee. And same as before, we put it on one that goes around. Where's my glue? Here. So I'll put it on this purple one here. Give it a pull. And we'll hold that there. Let me just get a peg. There we go. So we got that one done. Right. Let me move that one over. Yeah, that one's stuck now. Okay. So we just keep working our way around, guys. Just cutting it off on the inside and trying to line it up with one of the ones that are going around. Might help if I undo the glue top, won't it? Okay. Let me hold that there. But like I said, there are different ways to blend in our top, weave in our top I should say, but this works easier for this method. Yeah. Okay, I'll take that one off now. Alright. So it's just the fiddly little endings here that we got to try and cut off. Just let that hold a little bit and put that peg on. There we go. Oh, I'll have to do it that way, otherwise it's too hard to get in there. But that's okay, it all blends in the same. Once it's painted, you won't even notice. Put that there, and move this peg around. I'm running out of glue. It's like a trip to Spotlight. Alright, nearly there. Oh, I just have to grab another peg out of my little peg bucket. Excuse me, guys. All right. Thank goodness for pegs. Best invention ever, I reckon. Got to listen out for my dryer. I've got some sheets and stuff in there. It's any trouble when it rains is you got nowhere to hang your clothes. Alright. There we go. So we've just got one more to stick down, and then we can admire our finished basket. Okay, there we go. There. Okay, there we go, guys. There's our finished basket, made out of recycled cardboard and recycled magazines. All done. And it's sturdy enough. Once you give it a coat of Mod Podge, if you want to give it a coat, or a bit of varnish or paint, it will all bind together. But just to hold your pens, let me grab a couple of things out of my little other bucket that I've got over here. Look at that. You can keep your paintbrushes in there, you can keep your knives in there, your scissors. Probably need smaller ones for your pokey tools. You can make smaller baskets. But yeah, so handy little things to have. Great fun to make. So I'm kind of addicted to it at this moment. I, make little embellishments here and there, and then I go back to my weaving. I love experimenting with the different weaving techniques. Like, let me grab these ones again. Chadwick is locked out of the dungeon. He's at the door, looking at me with disgust, wanting to come in. No, he's there, he wants in. So anyway, so this is just, like I said, a single strand. So you just weave it in and out, in and out, in and out. Great effects, does the job. And then you get technical and you do multiple strands at once. A little bit of a different way to finish the top. So yeah, you can pretty them up as much as you like. I'm doing one here that's shaped like this. I'm using this as a template. This little tin that I got from our op shop haul when we went on our op shop little trip. So I'm using that tin as a template, so as I build my basket, I will use this as a support and build around it. And yeah, so that's my next on the agenda. But anyway, guys, that is it. Thank you for everyone for watching. It's been fun. Thank you to all my subscribers for hanging around with me this long. Thank you to my new ones. I hope to bring you more content. Like I said, I'm very eclectic. I make different things at whim. I don't just stick to one thing. If I find something I want to do, I do it, and share with you the process. So I hope you enjoy. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have fun making your baskets if you want to give it a go. And until next time, give your loved ones a hug. They're precious, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.